Hi, Stacy.
Hello, Ryan.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Top Agent Podcast. Before we get into anything, make sure you hit like on this video, subscribe on this channel. And if you're
Yes.
listening to the audio version of this, wherever you listen to podcasts, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any of the other platforms, make sure you give us a subscription and a 5-star rating if you are so inclined. We really appreciate it. It helps us grow our audience. So we
Yes.
can keep bringing you these shows week after week with the top real estate professionals in the world. Stacey, what's been happening this week?
Well, spring market, so been busy. Picked up some new buyers, showing some listings. Have a few meetings with some agents that are possibly looking at a switch. So
I
you?
find it interesting this week because we have we're in a time now where people are realizing this is a skills-based business, and with our guests coming up, we're going to talk about this a little bit. And
Yes.
some people are falling off, some people are looking for other ways. And honestly, if you're not willing to do the fundamentals, it doesn't really matter which company you're with. However, the option of eXp is probably your best to this day. In fact, I can say with confidence it is, although, other upstarts are rearing their heads and
Yeah.
coming into our area. So that's okay. We welcome the competition. For me personally, same kind of deal.
I I
Listings
do
coming up. Yeah, go on.
I do think that especially for these agents that have a desire to grow a team, when they're growing a team with a traditional brokerage, becoming a broker, you're now taking on a whole ton of responsibility and paying a whole ton of money as well. Where with EXP, you can grow your team and not have that responsibility and focus on helping them develop skills.
Well, EXP is without borders. So
Yes.
you can build a revenue share group that is worldwide.
Yes.
You aren't, if you open a brokerage or you join a traditional brokerage, you are basically committed to your town or area. And even if you own that brokerage, there's a pretty shallow or pretty low ceiling on what you can accomplish by recruiting agents, and it comes off the backs of those agents in a pretty major way with the commission split. So that's the traditional model. We are showing everyone something new and exciting.
Yes, we are.
And if you see the model and you don't see the opportunity, that's okay. But like you, like me, like Mr. John Tsai, who is our guest, the first exposure showed them all they needed to know.
Yeah. Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Yeah. Anyway, things have been awesome this past couple of weeks. The past week, actually, it's been really good. More of a manageable workload, but lots of stuff in the market happening, and lots of agents out there talking to people. So we have a big event coming up June the 9th in Manitoba. John, our guest, coming up right away. We just finished recording with him. Is coming to Winnipeg. So June the 9th, make sure you mark it on your calendars. If you're anywhere in Manitoba or want to make the trip, we have the Ignite event. You will be able to find it on all social media platforms where you can get tickets for it. It's going to be a great event. It's at the Winnipeg Art Gallery, and it's actually going to be followed by a Game Changers mixer.
Yes.
And I'll throw this in there. The day before that, June the 8th, we are planning a lunch and learn event in Brandon, Manitoba that's going to be hosted by myself and Chris Molinar. And there might be some other special guests that are getting involved, but it's too early to talk about that right now. So lots of stuff coming up, and we got John Tsai here right away.
Yes. Looking forward to it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show, and welcome, John. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing very, very well. Thank you so much. It is a great opportunity to be on here, so thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Well, thank
Thanks for
you.
joining us.
Yeah, the honor is ours. Thank you for being here with us today. So we'd like to dig into our guest's history just a little bit. So I want to talk to you a little bit about life before real estate. What was it that you were doing and maybe aspired to do previous to getting into real estate?
You know, honestly, growing up, I was always harped on by my dad. I'm the youngest of four kids. My brother is right now 57, another one 56, and then my sister is 53, and I'm 43. So growing up as a baby, I mean, when I was very, very young, my dad, I couldn't do no wrong because I was the miracle baby, right? And he was 45 when he had me. But as I grew up, he started harping on us boys, like you're no good, Asian parents, right? You're no good. You're not going to amount to anything, blah 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 blah. And then we have to take all that in, and we kind of bought into that story. So I was lazy all through my adolescence, partied all through my university days, and then I just felt like a loser most of my adolescent life, right? And this is one day, Ryan, I met this gentleman in Taiwan. I'm from Taiwan. And it was Tuesday afternoon on a normal working day. And I see this Caucasian man in Taiwan just working out, kind of just chilling. I'm like, hey, his name's Will. I said, hey, Will, what do you do? It's Tuesday at noon. Do you even work? He's like, no, I'm retired. I said, what did you do? He said, well, I built a language school here in Taiwan and I sold them. And now I solely invest in real estate. I said, wow, I want to be just like you. Well, if there was one book that you would recommend me read, what would it be to enhance my career? Because I'm up to nothing right now. And he said, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Up to that point, 2002, I was in my fourth year of UBC, and I had not even textbooks I read in its entirety. But I read that book, and the only concept that I understood from that book was buy real estate so you can have residual income, so you can retire on it, and get out of the rat race. Sound good, everyone? Right?
Wow.
So, but even after that, I kept partying, right? Stacy, I just was a loser. And it actually took me another 4.5 years, right, to get my real estate license. During that time, I was traveling, partying. I was working at a local Below the Belt. Do you guys have Below the Belt in Manitoba?
We do. We sure do. Yeah.
You do, yeah. So I worked there from 2002 to 2006, and I was selling jeans. My highest year of selling jeans was $24,000 a year, and I was proud of it, right? And then after that, I had to pull the plug on that. It was a great gig. I loved it. And it got into real estate. I was already about $15,000 in debt. And in my first 6 months, I did 2 transactions, made $2,500. And then, immediately got into more debt. And 2007, I did 17 transactions. I made $104,000 as a 27-year-old. That was a good living. I thought I had made it in real estate. So I went out and bought a car for $89,000 and used the rest of the money to buy my girlfriend jewelry and bags. And then completely broke, $80,000 in debt in 2008. That's when I think my career truly started, because that's when you wake up. When you're like, okay, no, it's getting serious now. When you're $90,000 in debt, you gotta work. 15,000, whatever, right? So yeah, that's essentially life before real estate and life just getting into real estate.
Nice. So where did you start in real estate? What brokerage or what type of brokerage? Was it a big company?
Yeah, so Royal Pacific, I don't know if you have that. I think it's BC exclusive, but Royal Pacific is one of those Asian real estate brokerages where everybody is Asian. All their clients are Asian. And, I walked in not knowing anything. And I was doing nothing really for the first year and a half. But I got lucky for those 17 transactions because my friends knew I was in real estate and they were buying their first home. So I did that. And then after about a year and a half in real estate, I ran into my childhood friend and high school buddy, Chris Rennie. And I was like, oh my gosh, Chris, you work for Bob Rennie. He's like, yeah, I'm his son. So Bob Rennie, if you guys don't know, is the local project marketer. He's now retired, but he's a local legend here. In his heyday, in his resale days, 1979, 1980, he was selling a home a day. So 365, 380 homes a year with one assistant as a single agent. The man is an absolute legend. So I followed him and I worked for his company for 12 years. And at the end of the 12 years, Stacy, that's when I was like, okay, I can no longer work 7 days a week, 12 to 14-hour days, not seeing my girlfriend, sorry, not seeing my wife. And we had already had one child, and I was burnt out, like way beyond burnt out. I was like, okay, I need to make a change, right? And why this change? Because I had no time for my mom. 2013, when I was working 7 days a week, my dad passed away. So for the last 6 years of his life, I never got to see him. And you know, it was sad. And I was near divorce at that time, right? Because you work 7 days a week, you think you're successful. You know, we made over 7 figures that time, 150 deals and all that, like the flash, top 1%, blah, blah, blah. John, you're successful, but everything else was falling apart, right? So I said, okay, I must do something about this. So I went out and you know, looked at all these options. And the best option, Ryan, was to buy a brokerage, it was to buy a franchise. And back then it was the big balloon that attracted us and said, hey, you know what? We'll give you stocks of the company, equity. We'll give you some revenues from you creating recruitment and attraction of agents. And once they pay their monthly fees and their splits, you get a cut. I said, okay, great. And last but not least, KV Core. They were going to give us KV Core at $1,200 a month. And I said, great. I'm going to use the lead generation platform to give my agents leads, and I can make an income that way as well. And I said, how much? And they said, $500,000. We'll get it all set up for you. I said, okay, great. No problem. You know what? I'm already $50,000 in debt, right? And I got no money, but I'll get another loan. I'll get 3 other partners, $125,000 each. No problem. Let's go for it. So we're vetting them. And then to June 2018, eXp came around to BC, and they said, John, we'll give you equity, we'll give you revenue share, we'll give you KV Core. I said, okay, well, how much are they going to charge us? Because the big balloon was going to charge us $500,000. Are they going to charge us 300, 200,000? How much? And my guy said $199 Canadian. I said, there's no way, right? But he said, you know what? You don't have to believe me. Let's go and interview some of the people already at the company 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Gene Frederick, Rob Flick, Brent Gove, Cliff Freeman, Steve Merritt, Christian Bear are all our senior partners. I interviewed each and every one of them, and I did my due diligence for 4 months. My last conversation, November 2018, talking to Cliff Freeman, I said, he said, John, let me ask you a question. If you were to make the switch to eXp and you get no stocks, right? The stocks go to zero, whatever. And your revenue share is at zero, whatever. And you don't do any deals from a lead generation platform. Who are you? I said, oh, well, I guess I'm still John Tsai, grinding out 100 deals a year by myself. Nothing changes. I could always go back to, I just said it.
That's okay. That's okay.
Right.
You do it all the time.
You do it all the time. All right. Glenn always says not to say it, but you know, I said, oh, I have nothing to lose, but everything to gain. You know what, Cliff? Let me think about it. And I asked him, what is your revenue share this month? He said $55,000, and this is American dollars, so it's like 80, right? I was like, wow, I could pay off all my bills with that money. You know what? Let me think about it, because I didn't think I could do it, Ryan, Stacy. I didn't believe in myself that I could do that. And I got off the phone. My wife tapped me on the shoulder, and then she looked at me wide-eyed and she said, you need to get involved now. We never see you. Right. So like a good husband would, I signed up that night, and the rest is history. I can say that after 2 years at eXp, I was able to become financially independent from the revenue share and be able to work 4 days a week and 4-hour days in my sales team. And the rest of the time I was just chilling, guys. 2021, I was like, yo, dude, I got this. No problem, right? And I built up a team, got out of production. And then 2022, mid 2022 came around, you know, market started changing. And yeah, so I'm back at work now.
So you made it to that Will status, the guy that you met in Taiwan.
Yeah. So funnily enough, made it to that will status, right, Ryan? I was exactly 42 years old when I made it to that financial independence age. And I'll say this to younger agents out there: find your will. Find your will. That guy that just completely changed the trajectory of my career. And find your will in another sense is find your desire, find your motivation, find your why you want to do this, find your why on why you want to become successful in real estate. Find your will, right?
Yes.
So basically, that takes us today. Today I'm the president of eXp Realty Canada. Remember, 4 days a week, 4 hour days. No longer, guys. It's back to 7 days a week, 12 to 14-hour days, serving the company. And it is my pleasure. It is my honor to be able to serve the company, to field any questions, solve problems, put out fires, make sure our onboarding is smooth, manager broker has support, everybody is happy at eXp so we can all grow. Hashtag 10,000. We're right now at 6,000 agents. By the end of the year, that's our goal. So keep that in
10,000.
mind. Let's grow.
Yes.
So what does the president of eXp Canada, what does the day-to-day kind of look like, or is it always something different?
It's, Ryan, back-to-back Google Meets and Zooms and eXp World meetings from 7 to about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And then I get to put out fires after that, right? And then I get a window of maybe about 2 hours there having dinner with my family, and then play with my kids. My two kids are going to be 5 and 2, and I picked them up from school, which is great. And you get to work from home at eXp, right? It's awesome, even in a corporate role. So I'm blessed that way, but right back on the grind right after. You're putting out fires, you're doing this and that, but really from 7 to noon or just after noon, it's back to back to back, Monday to Thursday.
Wow.
Yeah, and then Glenn wants me to be in 5 cities a month, which I am doing.
Yes,
So
one of them might be Winnipeg, right? Coming
well,
up.
Winnipeg is June 9th, so I
Yes.
look forward to seeing you there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will be in attendance for sure.
Awesome.
I'm working on it. I'm supposed to be away, but trying to fix it. So
It's all good. We're gonna keep doing these events, guys, and we're
Okay.
gonna come locally to inspire the agents, give value, and make sure that we're all productive. Because yes, we are a real estate company. We want to sell more real estate, so I will be coming to give tips, tricks, strategies to help you move forward in your production.
it's exciting.
Thank you.
So are you active in sales at all then anymore, or?
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not like I go on listing appointments or buyer appointments, but I am very, very close to my clients still. I am still texting them. I'm still calling them. I'm still making sure that the customer service is at the highest level possible, because that the customers that we have, the clients that we have in real estate is what drives the whole engine. You can't forget about your clients. And if you focus on the service first on that end, everything else takes care of itself. I don't get to become eXp Realty Canada president without my clients. It all started from my clients. So don't forget that, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you were talking to an agent in this climate right now, where the market has shifted a little bit and they're struggling, and we're starting to see some agents, kind of drop off where
Yeah.
they may have started during the pandemic and it was easy,
Yeah.
and now it's not so easy. What kind of advice would you offer those people?
Never quit. In 2006, 2007, I could have quit. 2008, I could have quit because I was $80,000 in debt. I could certainly go get another job and, be able to pay off that debt in 20 years, right? But I said, I want to have a life. So I got to stay in real estate and pay off this debt and actually enjoy my life, enjoy real estate. But if I had quit during that time, none of this would be proof. We wouldn't be having this conversation. But 2008 to 2009, I was $80,000 in debt. September 2008 to March 2009, I did not do one transaction. I could have quit so easily, but I didn't quit. And guess what happened in 2009, right, Stacy?
Well, we know what happened in 2009.
Well, yeah. Well, the market actually recovered, and guess what? All my clients and friends, they were calling me, and guess what they said? John, you are the only real estate agent left that I know. Can you come and list my house? So I got business by default. So this is your opportunity, guys. If you're thinking about quitting, you better not, because you have a huge opportunity ahead of you. A lot of agents are going to drop off. Let that not be one of you watching this right now, listening to this right now. Keep going, because it's not a matter of if you will succeed in real estate. It's when. And if you never quit, you will never fail.
That's great advice. So I asked this question to Glenn and a few others that we've had on here. What would you say to somebody that's considering eXp but hasn't officially made that decision? They're sitting on the fence.
I would say that it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. We're not here to force you to make a decision that you don't want to make, but we're here to support you and help you become productive, even if you don't come join us. See, we do business with people, not with companies.
Yeah.
So first, we have to build that relationship with that agent and make sure that we are adding value to their business and their life. And should that be the case of you having built that relationship, eXp is just a byproduct of that conversation.
Yeah.
eXp sells itself. We don't need to sell it to them. The platform is a no-brainer. But if you are an a-hole to that agent, don't even think about it.
Yeah.
Right? So I think people have a time when they're ready.
Yeah.
If you're an agent attractor, it's some will, some won't, so what next? And talk to the person that's ready now. We're looking for people who are looking for us. We're not trying to convince people who don't want to come yet.
Yes.
So I hope that makes sense.
No, that does. It does make sense.
Just going to switch gears a little bit. So we're in a social media driven world these days. What role do you feel social media is playing in real estate right now?
It's actually scary how big a role it is, because all it is social media, and where the attention goes, energy flows. Where the attention goes, money goes. So if you are all over social media, people can't get rid of you. You're omnipresent. You're going to make money. I don't care what you do. You got to get on social media, right? And the more attention you have, the more clicks you have, the more likes you have an opportunity to again connect with those people and build relationships through an online platform, and it's free. Why wouldn't you do it? Now I'll say this as well, Ryan. If you are a big social media buff, but you're not a prospector, you're not a lead generator, you're not a closer, you will still be broke. Okay, so you need to have the old school plus the new school. If you have the old school only, you're going to be struggling a little bit. It's going to be way harder, right, to build a business. But if you have the old school versus and plus the new school, you're unstoppable. And a lot of agents are new school only social media, but don't know how to close, don't know how to talk to people, don't know how to take a listing, don't know how to take a buyer. Loser.
I feel like that's actually really excellent advice, because I see social media gurus always saying there's no such thing as bad content. Just pump up, pump it out, pump it out, pump it out. And sometimes they miss the fundamentals.
Yeah, you can't miss the fundamentals. You still need to know how to close. That's why, every single week I have 8 trainings a week. You guys are welcome. Send your agents. It's all about production. We teach you how to say things to take listings, to do buyers. We teach you how to handle objections, and 100% of my training right now is all on production. So I think that truly matters. And this is the type of market, Ryan, Stacy, it's all about skills, and skills, guys, pay the bills. And if you can skill up, you'll make it through this market. If you don't, you won't.
Excellent. Well, we're going to switch gears. Stacy's sneezing. I can see
Right.
it. She hated herself.
Every episode.
at least once. We're going to switch gears just a little bit and ask you some fun questions if you're ready for them.
Yeah.
Favorite movie of all time?
Terminator.
Nice. Any particular reason for that, especially considering we are in the AI generation?
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's so weird. It's all coming around, Skynet's taken over. I assure you, if you don't work on your sales skills, AI is going to take over your job. So, Skynet's coming. But Terminator, why it was so, you know, such a strong influence on me was number one, um, dude ripped his heart out in the first 5 minutes of the movie. And back in 1984, they did not censor that. You could see the heart pumping as he pulled it out, right? So I was 4 years old watching that movie. I had no idea how I got into the theater. But after that, I started to do research and started to watch all Arnold films, and I started to go into his biography. Man, this guy, like, is my idol. Like, he came from Austria and made an American dream, from nothing. And here I am, an Asian kid being bullied as I grew up and being hard dumped by my dad as I grew up. It was very inspiring to me. And if I had the Terminator mindset, I know that I could just keep moving forward until, half of my body's cut off. I'm still trying to get that sale. Arrgh! You know, so I will never forget it. Terminator.
That's interesting to me because I've met Arnold a few times,
No.
and most people don't realize that he was a real estate millionaire long before he ever made $1 million in movies.
That's why real estate as well. He became a millionaire from investing in real estate at age 28.
Yep.
He was rich before he got into movies.
That's crazy. What is your favorite thing to do when you're not doing real estate or being the president for eXp Canada?
Well, now it's family, it's health, and I don't really have hobbies, but I would say working out is my hobby right now because it does, two birds, one stone. I take care of my mental health, I can take care of my physical health, and it's fun for me. So I like working out. And the next is, taking my daughter to, this weekend we're gonna go to Jurassic Quest. It's gonna be super fun. We're gonna see some dinosaurs. So spending time with my girl, spending time with my wife on my off time, and really, you got to fill your cup, right? And if your cup is not filled, you have nothing to give others. So I need to fill my cup after hours and then on the weekend, so I can go out and contribute to whoever needs me out in the world.
That's great. I do have to add one question in there. Are you a workout in the morning or a workout at night person?
I wake up at 4:30 every morning, and then I work out at 5 o'clock. And before that, I'll have a pre-workout and I'll meditate for about 15 minutes before I go.
Yeah. So Ryan and I both work out in the morning, but he's definitely up earlier than I am. So
I'm the 5 a.m. club guy.
yeah,
There
I'm
you
the
go.
6:30. So
You know what? So I just found out, guys, that I wear this Aura ring. You might want to try it out, and you can find out your sleep chronotype. And I found out that actually my chronotype versus my sleep pattern is offline.
Oh.
So I should be Stacy's schedule. That's just my chronotype, my biological chronotype, and it actually doesn't line up. So hopefully someday I will be able to sleep in and wake up at 6 and go to the gym at 6:30.
yeah, I'm happy with the 6:30. I feel
Yeah.
like that was even an accomplishment for me. So
Good for you guys. Good for you guys. And not many people do it, right? And you got to get that mental health time and me time out of the way right in the morning, or else the day gets crazy.
yes, and then it doesn't happen.
Then it doesn't happen at all. Yeah, good for you. Awesome.
So I think I know the answer to this next question already. So
too.
if it is the answer, please pick another one, just so people have something to go and look for.
Sure.
What book has had the most influence on you?
What book? It's a sticky one, but I would say right now, the first one that came to mind was the book Relentless. And I read this book in 2016, and it was like the next level, because you think you work hard and you think you are all that, and then there's the next level. There's a cooler, and there's a closer, and then there's a cleaner.
I have read that book.
Yeah, so it's a book about Tim Grover training Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and Dwayne Wade, and what their killer mindset is, and you can bring that into real estate, bring that into your life, right? Then you will go to the next level. And that's when I created this beast mode personality as well, because it's another level, right? You just keep going. But I started my career with Rich Dad Poor Dad, of course. right? And then into Think and Grow Rich, and then a whole slew of books. Right now, I still read 10 pages of a book. So if you think about that, 10 pages of a book, 7 days a week, is 3,650 pages a year. That's 12 to 15 books a year. And if you just do that, you're going to be way smarter than any one of your peers.
Yes.
So think about that.
And if you don't have time to do that, there's audiobooks. So
Right. So when I go to the gym, I do audio. And then
Yeah.
when I come back from the gym, I read 10 pages.
well, that's
So I'm
good.
always on 2 books at a time.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, hardest question: what is the single best piece of advice you have ever been given?
That I've ever been given?
Yeah.
Ooh. I think this is out of the box little advice that I got. And I'm still trying to grasp this concept of success is not in the doing. Success is all about who you're being. And you attract the success that you want by becoming the person that is deserving of it, not what you do. So it's actually people think, okay, I gotta do to work and have all the things that I want, the cars, the money, the house, the life, have, then you can truly become the person that you want to be. So most people are do, have, be, but it's actually be, do, have. So you got to choose to be the person first, and then you grow into it, right? That's why we set goals. I want to become this. So then each and every one of my actions today is going towards that beingness. So I would also recommend the book Being the Solution by Daryl Rutherford.
I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah,
Being the solution.
Being the solution. It's a crazy concept, but that's the best piece of advice that I've ever gotten. I'm still like battling with it right now. Yeah.
Very interesting.
Mhm.
It is interesting.
John, that is all we have for you today. We want to thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
You
thank
guys
you.
are welcome. Are you coming to the shareholder summit?
I'm not making the shareholders, but I've
Okay.
never missed an eXp Con. So
And
I
I-
will definitely be there. The American version, possibly the Canadian version as well.
Awesome.
And June the 9th, I will see you in Winnipeg.
Yes.
Sure. Well, thank you guys for your time. Thank you guys for the opportunity to share. Make it a great day, and we'll see you all soon.
Yes.
Adios.